welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alberta. I am here with my colleague Terri Cagle from Acopia Home Loans. I am super excited to have her as my guest. We actually doing a series on the lending institution and what they have to offer to first-time home buyers. Not only first-time home buyers, but to buyers who are considering to purchase a home in this season. So welcome, Terri.
Hello, everyone. Glad to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So let's just go into, finding more about who you are, what
Okay.
your experience has been in the field, and how can you help our first-time home buyers or anyone considering to purchase a home?
Well, my name is Terri Cagle, and I'm with Acopia Home Loans. I have been in the industry for 30 years plus, but I have also been with Acopia for 12 years, and
Okay.
that says a lot about a loan officer to stay with one company for such a long time.
Hmm.
My specialty is first-time home buyers or people that need any type of down payment assistance. In this market, we are finding that people may have money for closing costs, but they don't have money for down payment, or vice versa. So what I like to do is look at the whole picture and just figure out exactly what's going to work best for the client. Do we need to ask for seller paid closing costs, those types of things? But I've got several programs that I work with. And what I do is once I get the application, I review everything, advise the client which programs they may qualify for, and then
Hmm.
together we figure out which one works best for that specific client.
Yeah, and that's so ideal because a lot of times we, as a realtor, I would, recommend my clients to go to the lenders, and some of the lenders are just like cookie cutters. They just want to conform to what's comfortable for them
Right.
without exploring options that will fit our clients. So that's one
Right.
thing I love about Terri. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what is one of your favorite things that you have offer to your clients that that just makes your day when working with first-time home buyers, if you can share
Um,
something?
well, I would say, you mean like program wise?
Yes, program
Okay.
wise.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I would say that my favorite is Georgia Dream.
Okay.
So Georgia Dream is a down payment assistance program for first time home buyers.
Hmm.
And how it works is it's a first and a second mortgage. Your first mortgage is going to be an FHA loan. FHA stands
Okay.
for Federal Housing Authority.
Hmm.
Okay. And that particular program requires FHA requires a 3.5% down payment. So what we do is we take the money that we get from Georgia Dream and we apply it towards that 3.5%. Now they have
Awesome.
two categories of money. They have 10,000 or 5%, whichever is the lower of the two, or
Mhm.
they have 12,500 or 6%, whichever is the lower of the two. So anyone that qualifies for the Georgia Dream can get the 10,000 or 5%. However, if you're in
Mhm.
law enforcement, if you are in education, if you are in the medical field, and that includes dental. And again, when I'm saying education, I'm not necessarily meaning teachers, I'm meaning anyone in education. If you drive a school bus,
Awesome.
if you work in the cafeteria, if you're just, you work in the office, as long as you work for the Board of Education, you can get that 12,500. It puts you into that category. Same thing with medical. Doesn't mean you have to be a nurse. You can
Mhm.
be anything. You can work for a medical office as the receptionist, right? As long as you're working in the medical field, you do fall into that category, which is fantastic, right?
That
And
is, yeah, that is awesome because now, you're not just talking when we say medical field, you always think, oh, it's going to be the doctor or the
correct.
nurse or the
Yeah.
pharmacist. Now
Yeah.
you're talking about anyone in that works with a hospital or an educational institution. So that is excellent. Now, so what qualifications would someone need to prepare for,
Yeah.
to be successful? Because a part of my job as a realtor is, I always go into offering education first and then sales later. So my invitation to you is to help that first time home buyer better understand what this
Mm-hmm.
process
Right.
entails.
Right.
So can you kind of offer like
Mm-hmm.
what are the qualifiers that
Yeah.
would that you can identify to
Yeah.
help that person best prepare? to buying a
Well, I
home?
mean, the first thing they'll say, for the most part, Georgia Dream is going to go by what the FHA guidelines, and we won't go into that
Okay,
because that could take days, right?
gotcha,
But
gotcha.
but they do have what we call overlays, meaning things that they require that FHA doesn't necessarily require. And the biggest thing is
Okay,
the credit score, right? They have
okay,
a minimum credit score of 640. It's hard
okay,
stuff. I mean, they
okay.
just it's 640 period, right?
Mhm.
And then the other thing is they do have income limits, right? And
Uh,
that now, when I say income limit, that doesn't necessarily mean just for the borrower, it's household income. So if you are married, if you have a partner, if you have an adult child that lives with you that works, if you
okay.
have an adult, maybe one of your parents lives with you, right? Any
Mhm.
person that has an income that's going to live in that household, even if they're not on the loan, that
Okay.
income has to be included in the income limit. Now, the income limit can vary per county. So
Mhm.
that's just something that I would go over with each and every client that reaches out to
Mhm.
me. I would find out what
Okay.
county that they're looking to live in, and then we would check
Okay.
the income limits together to figure out if we can make it work.
Nice. Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
That's
And
excellent.
also let me
Yes.
point out as well
Uh-huh.
that let me just explain what a first time home buyer is, just real
Okay,
quick, because
awesome.
that can be
Awesome.
confusing. The good
Yeah.
news is that a first time home buyer doesn't necessarily mean that you've never ever owned a home in your entire life, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
What that means is if you have not owned a home or been on title or had a mortgage in 3 years or more, guess
Hmm.
what? You are now back into the category of being a first time home buyer. So don't let that stop you from reaching out to me or Alberta about being falling into that category. Because again, as long as you haven't owned a home, been on a mortgage or title in 3 years or more, you are now back into that category of a first time home buyer and you may qualify for Georgia Dream.
Hmm. Yeah, that tends to be, sort of like a mystery. A lot of people like, oh yeah, I'm not a first time home buyer, so I don't
Right.
qualify. So this is so good that you are sharing that and has taken time to kind of highlight that because I
Yeah.
think that is important. It just opens up more opportunities for our buyers
Right.
in this market. So thank you
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All
let me
right. So
also
is
bring
there
up one
any?
more. I'm so sorry. One more thing about Georgia Dream that I think is important. Georgia
Okay.
Dream can also be combined with a VA loan. So let's just say, for example, we have a buyer that's a veteran and
Okay.
they need some help with the closing cost. Now we do have to charge them a certain percentage because Georgia Dream charges us. So we do still have to get some seller paid closing costs. But
Mm-hmm.
what, you know, Georgia Dream tends to have a lower interest rate, lower market rate. So
Okay.
as of right this minute, today it's 5.875.
Oh
So
my
if you're
goodness.
a veteran, you can still qualify for the Georgia Dream and get that particular interest rate.
Wow, wow. Well, this recording is taking place on July 1st, so you
Yes.
guys can kind of set a time in as to when this is published, as to when you are watching this video, so you could also take that into consideration.
Yes.
We thank all veterans for their services,
Yes. A
and we
hundred
want to
percent.
highly support their goals that they have set to pursuing to become homeowners.
Yes.
So definitely
Absolutely.
as a team, you and I can help that
Yeah.
make that happen. Thank you.
And they qualify for the 12,500 because they're a veteran.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow. Is there anything else that we may have missed or didn't get a chance to mention regarding the Georgia Dream? How would people reach you to get
Mhm.
the process started?
Yeah, so the first thing I typically do is I get the borrower's email. I
Mhm.
send them an email with the link to do the online application. It also has a little overview of the program so that you
Okay.
can kind of look through there and see what the credit score requirements are and the income limit for your county and that kind of thing is mentioned in the email. But the
Okay.
first thing is just call me. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Just call me. My phone rings all day, every day about Georgia Dream, and I love
Nice.
talking to people about it. So my phone
Nice.
number is 404 386 9183, and I am available to talk to you about the Georgia Dream.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Terry, for your time.
Yeah.
So we are actually doing a series on different programs that Terry and Acopia Home Loans offers. So until our next video, stay tuned.